Burrows from JCB, and I'm going to be presenting our own studio at 345 Swan Street in Richmond. Ready to start?
Yep, and you can use the clicker if you want to.
The clicker's not working.
Okay, sorry.
So it's all happening. So this is the story of our studio at 345 Swan Street in Richmond, and I firstly want to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Wurundjeri people, who really own the land where we listen, learn and make in our studio. And our studio is on Swan Street near Burnley Station, and we moved there because the building we're in the city was being redeveloped and we needed to find a new home. And this is the home that we found, a 1950s modernist warehouse that became a second-hand built form repository full of guff with underutilised land at the rear. And our intentions were initially to explore a new build on the site, but once we stripped everything out, we realised the beautiful qualities of the warehouse space, and we recognised that this could really become the genesis of a fantastic architectural and design studio. So if we look at the journey, it was really about understanding and respecting the existing warehouse form on the left-hand side, thinking about minimal demolitions and then additions and utilising that pocket of land on the north that hadn't been built on. And then once we did this, connecting back into our environment, activating the edges and creating welcoming frontages to the building. The existing plan on the left-hand side really sort of predetermined a lot of the moves, services along the western wall, cost-effective response. We didn't want to move too many things, but it was also really about locating the main workstations in under the large sawtooth and light-filled roof. The second level included staff amenities, kitchens, gathering spaces, terraces, libraries, and the addition of a new mezzanine work platform as well. Some elevations, the northern elevation onto Beazle Street, our new addition, the modernist facade tidied up on Swan Street, and the landway addition as well, the elevation as well. The natural sawtooth roof was fantastic from a ample daylighting point of view, but it also allowed us to put a 57 kilowatt solar farm on our roof. So the office is fully electric. We're climate certified. We've got 3 on-site batteries. We're generating half of the power that we're consuming, and we use it also to charge Sparky, our office electric car. But it was also about adaptive reuse. How can we reuse as much as possible within the building? There's already a lot of embodied carbon within the building, but how too could we reuse elements should the building ever be changed and evolved over time? Being a workplace, we were cognizant that the layouts may need to change and evolve over time. We might feel differently, we might expand or contract. So how could we think about the workstations in a way that would allow this? And so we sort of came up with a custom designed workstation, flat pack workstation, we could assemble and reassemble, subject to how we wanted to reorganise the office. And here's a prototype in our old office. We just made it out of MDF and laminate with standing sitting desks, and it was getting the thumbs up and approval from the team. We consulted and engaged the team in the process of the generation of the office, both out on site and back in the office. And this is a sort of a casual day. We went out there, looked at plans, had drinks, and tried to understand and enjoy the space that we were creating. And on to the creation, and I mentioned there was that sort of underutilised land to the north, and this really became the springing point for our 2-story addition. All the steel framing and steelwork is bolt connected, so again we can dismantle this over time. But the construction process really reinforced in our own minds how much joy there was in the honesty and the simplicity of that original space, and we really try to hold true to that. Like all good architects' projects, it is mainly resolved on site. There are very few construction drawings. And through the process, we really wanted to enjoy and celebrate the found object. So the LVL studs and rafters really gave us colour without us even needing to think about contriving colour. And we started putting up some posters to start to communicate to the wider suburb that something was coming. So as I said, the materials palette was really about respecting and paying homage to the qualities of the warehouse space, light-filled, hardwood floors, the colours, the quirk and the colours from the LVLs, galvanised metal, joinery, cork, linoleum and canvas. We also created booklets and helped our staff know and learn about the new area that we're moving into. We'd been city dwellers for 20 odd years, so this was a big cultural and psychological shift, and this is now something we give to all new staff members because it's a great guide to both the region and the office as well. But onto the project as it's transformed itself, and here we can see a vibrant glazed shop fronting onto Swan Street, a graphically animated car park and public space at the front, referencing the historic colours of JCB, and the 1950s warehouse, recognised and remembered. Coming inside, we can see the light-filled qualities of the reception space, and spaces can really be reconfigured because of the curtains that we've hung, all these canvas curtains we hung following the truss line, so that meeting room can be open or closed, and spaces can be opened and divided up. Reception and the staircase behind it, and the original hardwood floor really gave us the impetus to stay with Victorian hardwoods, no plasterboards in this project, so insertions and wall openings are hardwood, painted brick or polycarbonate. But the main thing you see the minute you walk in the door is the workstations, and this is really the heart and the pulse of the practice, and it's on display, it's democratic, it's engaged and it's active. And coming around into the main work floor, we could see the ample light coming from the sawtooth roofs, the polycarbonate on the western floor, giving us glimpses of light above, but also allowing us to get a sense of activities happening in the meeting rooms beyond. Joinery is all demountable, none of it's fixed to the walls, we can move it around, thinking that we're going to reconsider our spaces. And again, this simple, tough galvanised sheeting is used throughout. Coming upstairs into the glass house, this is an informal meeting room. We also started to put artwork from local artists on the walls. We've got various artworks within the office, and we quite like this coat hanger installation. It's taking a simple object, a coat hanger, and just transforming it through colour and arrangement, and that's really goes to the ethos of what this project's really about. The mezzanine floor plate with the desks, and these are our sit-stand cubicles. The sage green linoleum top referencing the drawn boards of old. A few of us remembered what they were, and then connections back to the main office space beyond through breezeway louvers, so we can cross-ventilate and communicate as we need to. Coming up, looking towards the library and moving through the library to the outdoor terraces, and then into the kitchen space where the galvanised cladding to the joinery continues, and a large sliding door with images of that found object space leading into a meeting room. Coming back down, 2 more minutes? One. Okay, coming back down, we're looking at the workstations, but it's really about the life and the reconfigurability of the space. Events, morning teas, evening events, quiet times, social events. I mean, this is really becoming a vibrant and dynamic place. The last piece of the puzzle is our cafe. We made a cafe which connects both back into the office, but also onto the laneway. The colour theme and palette continues, but it's about really activation, and what was a stormwater easement laneway is now a really beautiful active space. Continuing out through onto the northern elevation, corrugated iron cladding and beautifully illuminated garage doors allowing our graffiti artists fantastic lighting for their artwork. But in conclusion, our reconfigured office, bright, vibrant, open, and a really exciting and energising piece of adaptive reuse in a place that we are loving calling home.